Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and for some reason, why does it just say Steve over there? It usually says other things. Have they changed something in StreamYard? They must have. Anyway, hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. Welcome to another UFO news stream. I said I were going to do them once a month. I did one last week. I thought I'd do another one. But anyway, Win Grace is here saying, Sky people. Yes, they are. Some are friend and some are foe, says Justin. But I would like to know the truth is out there. Is this a song? It could be. It could very well be. Anyway, but before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. And we should be live on Rumble as well, I hope. Maybe. Are we live on Rumble? Come on, Rumble, sort yourself out. Yes, we are. We're live on Rumble as well. Not on Twitch, because I don't do Twitch anymore. Wingrace says, don't you usually change your clocks before us? Why did we do it first this time? I've no idea. We go to British summertime on March 29th. So I don't know. Who decides these things? I have no idea. And why do we do it anymore? I don't know. But I reckon it's aliens. Oh, crikey. And Justin giving us a $3 super sticker. Thank you, Justin. What is it? It is, I don't know. Is it an alien baby or is it just a baby clicking its fingers. I don't know. But thank you, Justin. That's super ace. Not a song, but I'm an amateur writer. So am I. Or I used to be. I haven't written anything for yonks. But anyway. Is it a lemon man? All right. A lemon man from Angry Berry. Thank you, Justin. Anyway. Right, so is that it? All right, explore the description for links for stuff like merch, which I'm not wearing, but I am wearing a TOYG's Intergalactic Tour t-shirt, which I got off Amazon. And you could personalise the name, so put TOYG's Intergalactic Tour, because it's got a flying saucer on it. So I thought, cool. And it wasn't expensive either, which surprised me. And it arrived in like 2 days. Anyway, so there is that. Links for stuff like merch and my books. Sod it, I'm going to plug them. Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village, and I can't really remember much else about it. I wrote it that long ago. It does have some UFO people in it. The Sky Watchers, and they get eaten by it, the big cat. And Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. It's a bit of fun. On Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Justin says, yes, the Lemon Men and the Angry Berry, my band. Playing live near you at some point. I'd pay to go see you. Where were we? Books. Description for links for stuff like merch, books, my social medias, my other websites, and all that stuff. Yeah, just have an explore in the description. There's loads of links for stuff. Right, so shall we get on with this news then? Got quite a few news items to look at. I was surprised. I didn't think I'd find much. The cat wants to go out. She's been a pain. She knows, doesn't she? As soon as I start talking, she knows. Just bear with me. I'll take me. You can look at the alien behind me just while I go see it. She's a bloody nuisance. Let's make sure the audio's still working. Yes, we are. We're still on. Right. Anywho, Wingray says he's been replaced. The TOYG who comes back is not original Steve. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers and all that, isn't it? Oh, God, it came from outer space. It's one of them, isn't it? Sorry, I'm just adjusting myself. Right, news. Let's get on with it. How shall we do this? Don't know. Right, full screen this. Right, off we go. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, first up. I forgot what I'm doing. It's that one, isn't it? Right, but no, not that one. Hang on, where are we? Is it that one? Yeah, we'll do it that way. Maybe. We'll see. There we go. Right, so first up, by the way, all the links for the articles that we're going to read are in the description, so you can have a look at them there and all that stuff. Right, first up from CNN and Danya Gaynor, which must be an alien. Trump vowed to release government files on aliens and UFOs. Why haven't they been publicised yet, and what could be in them? Oddly enough, he's kind of being distracted by something else at the moment. Is DJT? But anyway, can you read that? Look, it's too bloody. My stupid face is blocking it off. Never mind. Is that too big or too small? I don't know. Should we just do it the old-fashioned way? Should we just do it this way? Hang on, where are we? We'll do it that way, and I'll make this bigger. It's massive on my screen. It is, I tell you. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. It's just Justin talking to Wingrace. Anyway, Where were we? A viral podcast moment last month reignited speculation about extraterrestrials and prompted President Donald Trump's commitment to kickstarting the release of government files on flying saucers. But neither records nor details about their release have surfaced, underscoring how complicated such disclosures can be. As in, they never will. Not really. They'll release some, nonsense that they're not bothered about, but the juicy stuff we'll never see. Trump's promise came after former President Barack Obama appeared to confirm the existence of aliens on a podcast. We'd covered this last time, didn't we? They're real, but I haven't seen them, Obama said when asked by host Brian Tyler Cohen about aliens, later clarifying after the episode went viral that he was only referring to the statistical likelihood of life elsewhere in the universe. Justin says, TOYG thing, the movies we always wanted. Hang on, let me check this. What's this style doing? Why is the style blue? I have no idea. Right. Has that sorted it out? Right, that's sorted it out now. It's gone to green. Unbelievable. Where were we? You to you, I sure enjoy. I don't know. Oh, you're on about Win Grace's books. Hey, I forgot where I want now. The surge of public interest is the latest chapter in a decades-long fascination with unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, the modern term for UFOs. I'll still call them UFOs. In recent years, believers and skeptics alike have been captivated by striking reports and military footage of unexplained aerial encounters released by the government and tense congressional hearings. Tense? I won't call them tense. But it is nice to see, I forgot her name now, that congresswoman who's super attractive, Luna, what they call her, Anna something, Luna, I can't remember, but she's well fit anyway. She's been on Joe Rogan, I think, featuring self-described UAP whistleblowers, though some experts predict the latest potential release could be full of boring administrative records. Trump, in a post on social media, cited the tremendous interest in extremely interesting and important extraterrestrial matters following Obama's comments as the reason for his fresh directive for the Pentagon and other federal agencies to identify and release such records. I'm sure, he's this saying, look over here while we bomb this country and release these UFO files. Ignore, the Epstein stuff. Anyway, the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, tasked with investigating UFOs, I'm still going to say UFOs, is working in close coordination. They say UAPs because they're not just in the sky, are they? They're not just unidentified flying objects, the anomalous phenomena, because they're in the sea and everywhere, aren't they? But I still call them UFOs. Working in close coordination with the White House and across federal agencies to consolidate existing UFO records, collections, and facilitate the expeditious release of never-before-seen UAP, information, a Department of Defense official told CNN. It's not that now, it's the War Department or something now, isn't it? Department of War, something like that, isn't it? What you're calling it now. It used to be that in the UK as well. It's the Ministry of Defence now, but it used to be the War Office, didn't it? Back in the old days. Justin says, the military footage is suspect to me, at least some. The numbers of speed and stuff is off. I don't know. We're told that it's genuine footage of something that they don't know what it is, and that's about all, isn't it? But anyway. Any official releases I'm always suspicious of from governments. But anyway. But even with Trump's vow of transparency, the path from protected file to public record is often obscured by layers of bureaucracy that may result in a slow-moving release of heavily redacted extraterrestrial files, or none at all. Exactly. They'll be shredding. They'll be busy shredding them. Or just deleting them from the databases or whatever they've got. A major UAP file release would join the list of high-profile disclosures marking Trump's second term, including the contentious and drawn-out release of investigative files related to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, as well as materials around Amelia Earhart's disappearance. She's in the Delta Quadrant, and the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and former President John F. Kennedy. Files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, UAPs. Don't forget, UFOs were mentioned in the Epstein files, apparently. Files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, UAPs and UFOs will soon be declassified, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence said on social media late last month. DNI. I was watching a YouTube video of, I can't remember what it was, I think it was Area 52. Which is fine, it's okay, I enjoy it, it's a nice chap that's on it. But he had a guest on, and all they were doing was just talk about DNI and CIA and just letters. The sentences were just made up with acronyms. What were you talking about? Anyway. Justice says, we changed it back to what it was before 1947 and 48. Kind of dumb, but I also understand it. Change the CIA back to OSS, that would be cool. I don't know what MI6 was before, in the war. I can't remember what that was. It was something like that as well, wasn't it, over here? Where were we? Trump hasn't offered details on timing since his announcement. The Commander-in-Chief has broad authority to personally classify or declassify documents as delegated by proper processes under Executive Order 13526, issued by Obama, said Lisa Goitein. I'll just call her Lisa, or Liza. See, can't pronounce that properly, can I? Or with confidence. Senior Director of the Brennan Centre's Liberty and National Security Programme. Any government agency with equity in the information set to be declassified would also be consulted. But experts say UAP files often earn classified status not because of what was spotted, but to protect revelations in reports about military technology capabilities, equipment positioning, or personal identities, or people being murdered because of what they know or what they saw. Anyway, that's another thing. Documents concerning UAPs are commonly ensnared with such sensitive intelligence that could impact national security if publicly disclosed and would implicate a thorough declassification process. I still want the death of Dr. John Mack looked into. Hit by a drunk driver in London. Yeah, of course he was. Trump's online promise has already activated a primary step as a slew of interagency meetings commenced to discuss how Arrow, the military and other defence-related departments across the federal government might publicise highly classified photos and information tied to UAP reports, according to Christopher Mellon, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defence for Intelligence. Doesn't get capitals for that one. But anyway. But he's kind of suspect as well, is Christopher Mellon, isn't he? He's from a super rich family, aren't they, the Mellons? He's up there. He's an elite, isn't he? So I don't trust him. But Lou Elizondo is Lou Elizondo's mate, who I also don't trust. But I'm sure, I've heard he's a lovely fella. But anyway. Typically, files would have to go to a trained security officer who understands the laws and understands the equities involved, and then they have to review it. There's a specific process they follow to review it line by line, Mellon said, with a big black marker. It would generally be done by the service or agency that produced the information because they're the ones who understand why they classified it to begin with and what issues would be associated with declassifying. Well, SIS before MI6. There we go. Right. I couldn't remember. I just know that, what's his face? Ian Fleming had his, what they call it, his Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare or something like that. That they made that film about, which were really good. I really enjoyed that film. Have I read that bit? Yeah, probably. Anyway, right. These security officers undergo specific training and certification before they're allowed to undertake the process, making them relatively scarce. As the administration requests a vast disclosure effort, the system risks becoming massively backlogged. Yeah, because they don't just release them, will they? They won't just say, oh, that's the UFO stuff. Just release it. They've got to go through it, haven't they? Just in case there's anything, genuine in there. I would try to temper expectations a bit. Yes, always expect nothing. That's what I do. I think it's going to be a fairly long and probably a bit of a slow process, Mellon said. The challenge is finding a balance and getting as much of that information out as you can without compromising war-fighting capabilities. But, why would it compromise war-fighting capability? I don't know. Some bloke gets abducted by aliens in the middle of Timbuktu or whatever. That's national security. But obviously, no, it's not all about that, is it? It's not all about that. They've got them in S4 and other places. Anyway, even with presidential intent, bureaucracy and legal safeguards will determine whether the files are ever fully revealed. How long is this article? It's really hard to imagine that the interests of national security aren't going to put up walls about certain kinds of information, said Greg. Bloody hell, America! Well, you sort your surnames out, for Christ's sake. How am I supposed to pronounce that? A Gigian. Another alien. Bloody hell. You're all supposed to be called Johnson over there. I've seen Blazing Saddles. Historian of Science and Medicine and Professor at Penn State University. I like Penn State pretzels. They sell them at my local supermarket. Anyway, it's hard for me to think that we're going to see something new, said Mr. Egigian. The US government has been investigating reports of UAPs for almost 80 years, and the rest. In the absence of details about the time frame or scope of the new files to be released, their contents at this point are purely speculative. But experts say previous federal document disclosures related to UAPs can offer clues to what's in store for the next release. In the 1970s, following an extensive interagency partnership between the Air Force and National Archives to properly redact documents, the United States released tens of thousands of pages of material from its long-term projects investigating UFOs, including Project Blue Book. The government released thousands more documents in the decades that followed before establishing ARROW to investigate sightings and publish reports. Remember, nobody knew about ARROW until 2017, something like that. I think it was around about that time, wasn't it? The government always said, we're not investigating UFOs, and they found out they were. The government lies all the time. As does ours. All governments lie. Much like these prior document dumps, the new files may likely include sighting reports from civilians or military personnel, including descriptions of where they were when they saw something inexplicable in the sky, said Egigian. Sorry, it's a great name. It's possible there will also be details around the extent agencies investigated sightings, undoubtedly heavily redacted. Wasn't there a Project Grime also, or Grudge? Yes, there were Grudge. There were Grudge, the one before, the Project Sign, and then Project Grudge, and then Project Blue Book. I think that's the order they went in, something like that, wasn't it? Heavily redacted, which could reveal the level of seriousness the government was taking certain reports. But perhaps most predictably, Egigian, just call him Greg, said the release will be full of files that most people are going to find unbelievably boring. It's going to be a lot of administrative files. Who does what? How much did we spend on paper clips? He said. Stuff like that. Because they'll look for just mentions of, UFOs, flying saucer. It won't be UAP, will it? But, anomalous, stuff like that. They'll be looking for those words in the documents, won't they? He predicts even witness reports could have readers yawning. Most sightings are not very exciting. It's a Gigian's, tempering our expectations, isn't it? A few typically go beyond sparse details, or sparse, or whatever, of a flashing or floating light that was there 1 minute and gone the next. Yes, but there'll be some that are super amazing, and they'll be the redacted ones. The real gold mine would be if the government were to release the first ever photo or video of a UAP obtained via satellite, said Harvard professor and astrophysicist Avi Loeb. Those images are usually extremely high resolution, he said. No. He said, acknowledging that the government hasn't released such images, if they exist, to keep technological capabilities under wraps from adversaries. Obviously, they're classified, but you could immediately tell if the object is something familiar or not, and you can measure its speed. I mean, there's loads of NASA footage of weird stuff going on in orbit, in the STS-48, and footage from, the ISS and all that stuff moving about, and how it shouldn't be. But anyway, God, is it still going on? How long is this article? Loeb said if files are released... is that Lou Elizondo? I think it is, isn't it? Kind of looks like my neighbour from over the road. Loeb said if files are released, he'll also be looking for any details about materials that may have been recovered from UAP crash sites. For example, but he mainly hopes that the government is upfront about whatever it knows about extraterrestrials. I think you're expecting a bit much there, Avi. No government's upfront about anything, ever. Justin says, the redactor stuff is ridiculous anymore. Or do they do some of it to keep people interested? I don't know. I think they do it just in case, don't they? Obviously, they delete names and stuff often, don't they? And addresses and stuff like that. But, like I said, with that famous one with Stanton, I think I mentioned it last time, with Stanton Friedman, where he'd done a FOIA request for something or other. It might have been about Roswell or something like that, and they got the files, and just page after page are redacted, just black pages with the little bits unredacted, words like and the. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. They might as well just not bother. But anyway, where were we? My point is, says Avi. I think it's Avi still talking, isn't it? I think it's still Avi Loeb. Bless him. Director of, I forgot, Project Gemini, that's what it's called, isn't it? They're trying to find physical evidence of, alien craft crashing on Earth. Aren't they, Project Gemini? They sent a submarine or something down, or they sent something down to scoop where a meteor or meteorite had crashed into the sea, and they went down and basically dredged up stuff and found weird elements and stuff, didn't they, that said but maybe artificial, but they weren't entirely sure. Anyway, he says, my point is that if you find evidence for a tennis ball that was thrown by a neighbour into your backyard, and you know that you have a neighbour because of that tennis ball, you wouldn't hide it from your family members at the dinner table. But it depends where you live, really, doesn't it? He said, because the same neighbour may show up at the front door. While Agigian says, never say never. No, Sean Connery said that, didn't he? Anyway, to the possibility of the White House revealing evidence of alien life on Earth, perhaps the best that believers could hope for in the files would be novel sightings with details that can't be quickly explained away, that are real head-scratchers that leave people who do this for a living kind of flummoxed. Well, just look at the Blue Book reports. Was it something like 30%? It was a high percentage of the reports in Blue Book couldn't be explained, and they owned up to that. They said we can't explain something like 30% or something like that of the sightings. But anyway, whatever happens, it's not going to be the end of the story, he said. The Pentagon, I think we're nearly done. The Pentagon, through Arrow, has maintained it hasn't seen any evidence for extraterrestrials. And we believe them, don't we? Despite whistleblowers suggesting a presence of non-humans during high-profile congressional hearings, no proof has surfaced from official investigations. Because they keep saying these, like, I forgot the name, David Fravor and what's the other one? Grush. I forgot his first name. They keep saying, I can't tell you in these congressional hearings. I can't speak about it openly. I'll have to do it in a SCIF, special compartmentalised information facility or something like that. In a closed meeting. What's point in having bloody congressional hearings then if you're not willing to speak out? Because it's not true. It's all a distraction, in my opinion. Where were we? The Air Force, which once spearheaded a 20-year investigation into UAPs, Blue Book, has said it hasn't received indication that any of the thousands of reported sightings were extraterrestrial vehicles. Even though, back in the 50s, I can't remember, Major General, I think it was Major Sanford, is on film saying, we think they are not of this earth, basically. And they are real. We don't know what they are. And about flying saucers. Anyway, as an entity, the federal government has consistently denied an alien presence, but high-ranking officials have offered statements dripping with obscurity. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're real or not, Trump said on Air Force One last month when asked about Obama's comments. He added that Obama had given away classified information in his remarks. He hadn't really, though, because he didn't say anything. So had he given away classified information? That's just Trump being Trump, innit? Obama isn't nearly the first president to give his 2 cents on aliens. Former President Jimmy Carter wasn't shy about sharing his experience seeing what he described as a UFO when he was the governor of Georgia, going as far as to file a report with the International UFO Bureau. But I think they said it was Venus or something, didn't they? That's how they explained it away. Then California Governor Ronald Reagan also claimed to have seen a white light zigzagging around his aircraft in 1974 before it went straight up into the heavens. And then him and Nancy got abducted by aliens in dark skies. Where is it? In Dark Skies. Great series. Only lasted 1 season because it were too close to the truth. Justin says, only thing he said that could be secret is they're real. Yeah, but even that, it walked that back, didn't he? Saying, no, I didn't mean I've seen them and I know that they're real because we've spoken to them or whatever. I just mean they're out there because the mathematical probability of there being aliens is, we're pretty certain that they are out there. That's what he walked back. But anyway. Justin says, Nancy was a sweetheart. Bless her. 3 days after Trump directed the Department of Defense to begin preparing UAP files for release, Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters, we'll see if aliens exist. By the way, who's this fella I keep seeing on Trump memes and Trump AI videos and stuff? That fella with a big wide face and a beard and stuff. Who is he? I don't know. Is this something to do with Trump? I don't know. I keep seeing him everywhere in these Trump memes and AI joke videos and stuff. Where were we? I get to do the review and find out along with you, says Pete Hegseth. Is that it? Right, we're done finally. Crikey, that were a long article. I wasn't expecting that. I should read them first. Is it? Is it J.D. Vance? The Vice President? Is it? Hang on, let me look. No, not him. No, yeah, he has got. I don't mean him though. I don't mean him. I didn't think it were him. I'll see if I can. I don't know how to find him. I'll type in Trump AI video. Or video, not Cidio. See if I can see it anywhere. I don't know, because I'm looking for it now, I can't bloody find it. I don't know who he is, so I can't. It's like some big fella with a beard. Anyway, whatever. It keeps popping up. Yeah, so there we go. So anyway, I don't think they'll release anything. Like I said, they've got their hands full with events over in Iran at the moment, haven't they? So they'll use that as an excuse. But anyway. It wasn't J.D. Vance. It's definitely not him. It's some other fella that I keep seeing in all the... I don't know who he is, and I keep thinking, why does he keep showing up in these memes? But I don't think it's J.D. Vance. It doesn't look like him anyway. I'm typing something in. That's the fella. Oh, it is J.D. Vance. Oh, right, it is. Is it? Hang on, where? Is it him as a young fella or something? Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, yes, it is him. Yes. But I don't get it. Yeah, it's that. Hang on, I'll show you. What you get. So, yes, you were right. Where have we? Open image in new tab. I'll just drag it across. Can't find it any bloody bigger. There we go. There. J.D. Vance body shamed in viral White House Halloween post. Oh, so did he used to look like that in the olden days before he tidied himself up? Right, fair enough. I thought it was a totally different person, to be completely honest. Anyway. Right, so I know now it's the Vice President, fair enough. And he used to look different. What I typed into Google was fat bloke with beard and curly hair in Trump memes. Anyway, right, where were we? Yeah, so that's it. They're busy doing other things at the moment. But yeah, I don't think they'll release anything for a while. Even them, have them congressional hearings still been going on? Because they seem to have gone quiet. Because they seem to be quite regular, didn't they, for a while? And now they don't seem to be doing them. As I said, they're busy, aren't they, with other matters. Although, I said, they brought it up with Hillary, didn't they? Hillary Clinton, briefly. But anyway. Right, so we'll move on to another article. So I'll just have to remove that. Oh, I went full screen. Never mind. What have I done? I don't know. Anyway, right, here we go. Next one. Wow, UFO sighting here in the UK. Here we go. Let's full screen this. Why don't I do it like this? Hang on, let me just unshare that. Share screen and that one. Right, we'll do it like that. That should be better. There we go. I don't have to faff about now with full screen stuff. This is from the Northern Echo. Man spots UFO over the Albert Dock that disappears with a pop. That nearly rhymes, nearly. Albert Dock is Liverpool, where the Beatles are from. Anyway, sorry, Justin. Yeah, it's him. He was chunky at one time. Not that big, but they made fun of him because of some stories about... All right, fair enough. I just wondered who he was. I just saw him kept popping up. I didn't realise it was the VP. Anyway, Gideon Allen claims to be a magnet for UFOs, writes Jonathan Blackburn. And there's a photo, look. Is it real? I don't know. Gideon Allen claims he spotted this classic flying saucer hovering over the Albert Dock. Image supplied. Can you read that? I'll make that bigger. There we go. Right, off we go. A classic flying saucer was spotted hovering over Liverpool's Royal Albert Dock before disappearing with a pop. Photos shared with the Liverpool Echo. Oh, not Northern Echo. It says Liverpool Echo in the URL. The Liverpool Echo appeared to show a disc-shaped object with what witness described as a light at the front. Gideon Allen, 27, who lives in the city centre, claims he spotted the UFO over the River Mersey around 6 a.m. on Sunday, March the 1st. He told the Echo, I heard a humming sound. I don't know if he's got a Liverpool accent, I don't know. Calm down. I heard a humming sound. And looked up, it was quite low down, hovering and darting over the water by the Albert Dock towards the car park at King's Dock. It hovered for a few seconds before flying off into the air toward the left, and then pop, it was gone. Does it mean just pop? It made a popping sound. I mean, maybe it didn't. Maybe it just meant it just disappeared, as though it popped out of existence. Anyway, Gideon described the object as a classic flying saucer, but translucent. He said you could see through it. It also had a light on what I imagine to be the front. There we go. Actor Gideon Allen, 27, from the Baltic Triangle. What are they talking about? I don't know. But it's his birthday in this photo. And he's a legend, apparently. In 2024, Gideon, originally from Preston, which is in Lancashire, it's quite near Liverpool, predicted extraterrestrial visits to the Liverpool would increase after he moved to the city that year. And data seems to have borne this prediction out, with the numbers of reports made to Merseyside police about UFOs and aliens doubling between 2024 and 2025. Oh, let's have a look then. Open link in new tab. Let's have a look. When's this from? What's this? This is a premium article created exclusively for our subscribers. Well, it can sod off then. Rising from 17 in 2024 to 34 in 2025. Gideon, an actor set to appear in the Liverpool-based BBC series The Cage this year, added, "This is the first sighting I've had since December 2024, but I've been having really weird dreams." And there's... is this the same photo or a different one? I don't know. It says view 3 images there, but when you click on it, there's just a picture of him and then I think a logo or something. It's not that. Is that? Because that's a different image, isn't it? When they see it's got little dark areas there, but on this one, it's got a light area there. Anyway. I've dreamt of floating and seeing people inside glass cylinders. Gideon, who practices witchcraft, you're not helping yourself, mate. Christ on a bike. Added, I predicted a while back that I would draw more UFOs to the city, and I did. Is it all your fault, Gideon? Maybe, I wish I'd not picked this one now. I mean, the photo's interesting, but he's not doing himself any favours, is he? Maybe my magical spiritual abilities are drawing them in and I've made contact without realising. His agent and manager said, Gideon, shut your gob. Or maybe they found out this is where the Beatles are from with all the filming going on. What? Was that it? Right, so there we go. An interesting image, but that's it. With no context, it's just, there's nothing, we can't see anything in the background. It could be anything. It could be anything. But it's an interesting photo. Don't trust Gideon. He's an actor and witch. But anyway, who knows? It could be real. It might not be. I'm erring on the side of caution on this one. But anyway, off to more. We'll move to more interesting stories now. Not that that's not interesting. Just this next one is more interesting. I'm going to have to zoom in on this bugger. Right, off we go. So we've got two articles about the same thing. A general's gone missing. So I will add that. Share this tab instead. There we go. From Cincinnati.com. FBI joins hunt for missing general named in UFO report. What that means, says Chad Murphy of the Cincinnati Enquirer. Story summary. We'll just get on with it. The FBI has joined in the search for a retired US Air Force general who has gone missing in New Mexico. FBI agents and investigators from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office were seen canvassing the neighbourhood where Major General William Neal McCasland was last seen. KRQE in Albuquerque reports. I love American TV and radio station names. I have no idea what they mean. What the hell does KRQE stand for? I know some of them are is it the K is a certain location in America, like a band or whatever? I don't know. But anyway, we've got Yorkshire television here. We don't. Anyway, McCasland, 68, retired as the commander of a research division at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton, Ohio. This is what we know. And there's a picture of him. Apparently, he's retired and he's quite healthy. He's got all his marbles. Some people have been saying he's suffering from dementia, but apparently his family have said no, he's not. He's perfectly fine, and he's fit and active. And he went out for a walk and never came back. So anyway, Wingers says they don't stand for anything. They make up the name after the fact based on their call letters. They make up the name after the fact based on their call letters. Right, okay. What's call letters? I don't know. Anyway, right. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office issued a silver alert for McCasland, who has been missing since last week, Newsweek reports. He was last seen on February 27th in Albuquerque. McCasland is 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs about 160 pounds. He has white hair and blue eyes. I wouldn't say that's what, unless there's an old photo. Well, it's in his uniform, isn't it? So, are they blue? Can't tell. Anyway. And he has unspecified medical issues, according to the Sheriff's Office, which is worried about his safety. McCasland was the commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton, according to his Air Force biography. He managed a $2.2 billion science and technology program, as well as $2.2 billion in additional customer-funded research and development. He joined Wright-Patterson in 2011 and retired in 2013. By the way, they talk about unspecified medical issues. I've heard somebody like Ross Coulthard has said he thinks it might just be, like blood pressure stuff. It's nothing serious, like takes blood pressure medication or something like that. But I don't know. He was commissioned in 1979 after graduating from the US Air Force Academy with a Bachelor of Science degree in Astronautical Engineering. He has served in a wide variety of space research, acquisition and operations roles within the Air Force and the National Reconnaissance Office. The FBI will join a missing persons case at the request... Do you mean open a missing case? I don't know. At the request of state or local law enforcement, according to the US Department of Justice Criminal Resource Manual, making available the resources of the FBI Identification Division and the FBI Laboratory. Crikey, that were a long sentence. The FBI may also open and lead a missing persons case if foul play is suspected, if the person was on federal land, such as a national park, or if the missing person is a US president or federal official, such as cabinet members, members of Congress, or federal judges, among others, according to true crime podcaster Jerry Williams. Williams was an FBI special agent for 26 years. Right, McCasland was described as a key advisor on UFO-related projects by Tom DeLonge, UFO researcher and guitarist for the black band Blink-182. Don't hear much about him these days. He were all over the place, wasn't he? When the Tic Tac videos and that came out. He does that To the Stars Academy, like a UFO research thing, isn't it? We don't hear much from him these days. I've not noticed, anyway. The General's name appears in the 2016 WikiLeaks email release from John Podesta, then Hillary Clinton's campaign manager. In emails to Podesta, DeLonge said he has been working with McCasland for months and that the General was aware of the materials DeLonge was probing because McCasland has been in charge of the laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base where the Roswell wreckage was shipped, according to Newsweek. So did he actually say that in the official thing? The band got back together. Did what? Blink-182. I couldn't tell you a Blink-182 song. I couldn't. However, there is no official record of DeLonge's claims, and McCasland has neither confirmed nor denied it, and now he's missing. The Dayton Air Force Base was home to Project Blue Book in the 1950s and 60s, according to the Air Force investigation into UFOs published by Ohio State University. Pardon me. During that time, it logged 12,618 UFO sightings, with 701 of those remaining unidentified. It's not a third then, is it? Where did they get 30% from? But it's still a large amount. The US government created the project because of Cold War-era security concerns and Americans' obsession with aliens. Is that it? Right. So anyway, but there is another article that says a bit more about this, because this is from the other day. I don't know when it's. I can't see a date on it. But we've got from today. Justin says, good band. Maybe they are. I don't know. I couldn't tell you a song by him. I'm not into 90s, popular music. Anyway, here we go. Where were we? So we've got this one from the New York Post. I'm going to have to make this bigger and all, aren't I? Here we go. UFO experts' disappearance in New Mexico is a grave national security crisis, reporter warns, says Chris Nezzi. The mysterious disappearance of a retired Air Force Major General with deep expertise about UFOs who went missing without a trace, February 28th, constitutes a grave national security crisis, according to an investigative journalist. Local law enforcement said William Neil McCaslin, 68, disappeared after leaving his Albuquerque, New Mexico home on foot, leaving his phone behind. That's suspect, innit? Hang on, what's happened? Your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Oh, I'm not sharing anything. Try sharing your screen again. Restart your browser if this continues to be a problem. Doesn't matter. Justin says, right, Pat has a big UFO history and also Mothman. I didn't know about Mothman. I know it's a big UFO thing. It's the home of the Foreign Technology Division, which kind of not only like foreign as in from other countries, like, Soviet technology or whatever, but it also covered the alien stuff as well, didn't it? But I think before Area 51 was set up. I would not like them. Would have not liked Blink 182. I might know some of the songs. Let's have a look. I'm going to look now. I'm just curious now if I know one of the songs. I probably do. Blink 182. Right, here we go. What songs have they done? I don't know. I'm trying to... Where now? Oh, there we go. Wikipedia. Blink 182. Discography. The singles. I have no idea. Whatever. Adam's song. I don't know. Whatever. Don't care. There's a Mothman connection also. I didn't know that. Where were we? Leaving his phone behind. In a missing persons investigation that has since been joined by the FBI. And there's Silver Alert. They're looking for William Neil McCaslin. And there's a newer photo of him with white hair and blue eyes. This is a man with some of the most sensitive secrets of the United States in his head, journalist Ross Coulthart said in the latest edition of his Reality Check podcast. Subscribe now. I like Ross Coulthart. Adding that McCaslin possesses deep knowledge about what the US government might be hiding regarding extraterrestrials. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office issued a silver alert for the missing retiree, seeking help from the public in locating him and noting that law enforcement's concerns for his well-being are exacerbated due to medical issues. During his Air Force career, McCaslin we'd read all this before, didn't we? So he did space stuff and all that. There's the photo that we saw earlier, and there we go. Wright Patterson, possession of fragments of extraterrestrial debris from Roswell. We all know that, don't we? Coulthard said McCaslin's disappearance coincided with President Trump making overtures about the US government's knowledge about UFOs, saying the ex-general was supportive of giving the public more information. Did I say public? Public. More information about those classified topics. The timing is screechingly relevant, Coulthard said. The fact that General Neil McCaslin has disappeared off the face of the earth, maybe literally, who knows, is a grave national security crisis for the United States of America. This is a man with some of the most sensitive secrets of the United States in his head. Oh, there we go. So, yes, I hope he's found okay. I hope he's fine. I hope they find him and he's all well and all that, and he hasn't been either abducted by aliens or just led out into the desert and got rid of, or kidnapped by, foreign powers. Who knows? Who knows? I hope he's okay. Anyway, moving on to the next article, which is this one. Right, this is from, the Daily Star, a venerable British newspaper. It's not. Right, UFOs nearly started World War III by triggering Soviet missiles as world was minutes from wipeout. The bizarre incident in 1982 almost set off the Soviet Union's it's the Daily Star, nuclear weapons which were trained on New York City, which would have triggered almost certain nuclear Armageddon. Who's Ashley Pemberton, news reporter. And there's some UFOs. Look, have we got 5 images? I wonder what they are of. I don't know. UFOs almost sparked World War III by triggering the Soviet Union's arsenal of nuclear missiles, including, what we're talking about, newly uncovered documents claim a Red Army propaganda chief said intercontinental ballistic missiles excuse me, somehow started their launching procedure without authorization. I think we talked about this briefly last time, didn't we? I think we did mention it. I don't want a story about it, but we did mention it, didn't we? And I said some sharp as a tack chap over in the Soviet side didn't press the button. The missiles, which were trained on New York City, would have sparked a nuclear Armageddon had they gone off. Soviet files show the chilling incident happened just outside Usovo in Ukraine. At the same time, swarms of UFOs were spotted by Red Army soldiers. Witnesses told Soviet Ministry of Defense investigators the crafts performed unbelievable aerial feats, changed shapes excuse me, and colour. Spelt the American way, Daily Star. You've just copied and pasted that, haven't you? Vanished and reappeared, flew at high speeds, must be U in colour there, between the O and the R. Flew at high speeds and stopped in mid-air, triggering the activation of the missile launch mechanism. Armageddon would almost certainly have followed if the missiles had launched, and they looked just like that. Oh, pardon me. Where were we? With just minutes to spare before the missiles launched towards the US, they deactivated when the UFOs flew off. Radar reports. Is that a website? It looks like it. Radar Online. UFOs nearly ignited global war. Soviet files reveal is the URL. Details of the incident, which happened in 1982 at the height of Cold War tensions between the Communist Empire and the US, have been uncovered in a dossier smuggled out of the US by TV reporter, TV in lower caps, unbelievable, George Knapp, more than 30 years ago. Was that it? Oh no, we hadn't. Thought we'd done then. The legendary Journo, 73, is great as George Knapp. I could listen to him all day. Snuck swathes of documents out of Russia in 1993 in a suitcase filled with caviar under the nose of the KGB after the fall of the USSR in 1991. He quietly released them in January, revealing the extent the USSR probed the phenomenon. It gave them to the government or something, didn't it? The files, and the government said, "Oh, we'll release these. Do it through us," and they never did. So he says, "Sod it, I'm releasing them myself." Then through his News 8, Channel 8, I can't remember. The station is a news reporter for in Las Vegas. Boom. The communist government officially deemed UFOs a concoction of warmongering American imperialists in 1953 as tensions between the superpowers intensified. But I just said that. They were really investigating them. Here we go. But the documents given to Knapp from a Russian physicist and national security advisor named Dr. Nikolai Kapranov revealed the USSR commissioned several studies of UFOs, beginning with the Network AN program in 1979. And it carried on with Galaxy MD. That sounds like Quincy series, but in space. From 1981 to 1985, Pluton 7, which sounds like something you might get radiation poisoning from, in Battlestar Galactica. In 1989 and 1990, and the continuing Thread 3 programme. Cool. And there's George Knapp saying hello to somebody. Mr. Knapp. The files, which also describe other amazing accounts of UFO activity in the USSR, include at least 3 incidents in which Russian fighter pilots were blown out of the sky by unknown craft. The reports finally became public 3 months after Knapp testified before Congress about his UFO investigations. And for some reason, nuclear missiles capable of reaching New York were reportedly placed on full alert. So just reminding us what New York looks like. But not in 1982, because it didn't look like that then. It had some other buildings there. The Usovo incident echoes a UFO swarm on Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana in the US in 1967. We also talked about that, didn't we, as well, last time? Where the appearance of a saucer-shaped craft emitting a red glow coincided with the inexplicable failure of nearly a dozen nuclear-armed Minuteman ICBMs. Robert Salas, the base's Deputy Missile Combat Crew Commander on that night, testified on Capitol Hill about the incident in 2023. And there we go. So that's an interesting thing about what happened with nuclear missiles and stuff. But, did they nearly start World War... Well, World War III just about to start, but it wanted to do with the UFOs. They stopped it, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I remember just messing about. Let's give the Earthlings a scare. Start the missiles. Kapishtin Yar, the Soviet Area 51. Yes. I saw that on something. Did I see that on now? I can't remember. But yes, I've heard about that one. Yes, I've seen it on the documentary and I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, but yes. Right, so that's that one. Right, what's next? What's the next article? So anyway, we're talking about Hollywood and UFOs next. So we shall share this tab. We'll fly through these articles. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Bloody hate them. Bear with me. Which one is it? Where are we? Pause on this side. There we go. Just refresh it. Be loads of adverts now. Right. Hollywood is suddenly taking UFOs seriously with rival... Go away. Bloody hell. With rival disclosure projects in the works. Exclusive. There we go. A historically anchored Roswell movie is coming, while filmmakers ranging from Steven Spielberg to Joseph Kosinski tout upcoming UAP-themed titles. This movie is going to blow people's minds, says somebody. And there's a real UFO, probably. Right, it's quietly becoming a trendy new genre in Hollywood, the serious UFO movie. Sorry, Justin. The one that really interests besides that is the bronze domes in the Siberia area. I saw something about that recently. But I can't remember what it was now. I can't remember for a video or an article I saw. But there was a thing about these domes somewhere. I think it can't be for Siberia or, like Mongolia or somewhere like that. I can't remember. But it does ring a bell. It does ring a bell, does that, yeah. Anyway, the serious UFO movie. An invasion of projects across the narrative and documentary space are exploring the topic of unidentified aerial phenomena or unidentified anomalous phenomena. Get it right, Hollywood Reporter. UAPs, including prestige films from Steven Spielberg and Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski. Hollywood does this a lot, though, doesn't it? Something will be in the zeitgeist, maybe, and Hollywood will. So you get a lot of films, similar films coming out at the same time. Like in 1989, 1990, we had The Abyss, Deep Star 6, and Leviathan. They all came out at the same time, didn't we? Then we had Armageddon. Later we had Armageddon and Deep Impact at the same time. So, it happens a lot, doesn't it? Ancient Aliens had it also. Oh, right, okay. Is it a recent one or an old one? I don't know. It does ring a bell. I've seen it somewhere. Where were we? While movies about spacecraft and aliens are as old as filmmaking, this wave is heavily influenced by recent real-world events. A perhaps unprecedented level of media, lawmaker and public interest in videos and discussion of UAPs, which has included congressional hearings, the emergence of government whistleblowers and the release of much-debated Navy footage of objects that some claim defy the laws of physics. The truth, in other words, has gone from being out there to feeling just around the corner. An older one, okie dokie. It's fine, Justin, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're not anyway. I'm slow enough. The latest project in the mix, producer and podcaster Bryce Zabel, Dark Skies, Taken. Where is it? There we go. Dark Skies, there. Has just packaged a film with UTA that's billed as the most grounded, historically anchored look at the 1947 Roswell incident yet. Sylvain White, The Boys Fargo, is attached to direct. Listen, we've had a Roswell film called Roswell, haven't we, back in the 90s sometime. I think we did it on Magnificent Mondays once, back in the day, with Cal MacLachlan and Martin Sheen and that singer, that country singer whose name I can't remember. Dwight Yoakam, him. With that. And then it's good as Roswell. I really like that. So we get another one. I didn't know Bryce Zabel were involved with Taken. That's the Steven Spielberg series, wasn't it? About UFOs and aliens and all that, which is really good. But not as good as Dark Skies. Titled Unidentified, the fact-based tale moves across 3 timelines. A bit like maybe Taken did that, didn't it? The infamous 1947 incident where the US Air Force announced, then quickly retracted, that it had recovered a flying disc, a 1990s narrative focusing on Roswell. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, a 1990s narrative? What are you talking about? Start that again. The infamous 1947 incident where the US Air Force announced, then quickly retracted, that it had recovered a flying disc. All right, so it's three timelines. Right, I'm getting it now. I told you I'm slow. A 1990s narrative focusing on Roswell investigators racing to secure testimony from witnesses and a present-day murder mystery looking into mysterious deaths related to the incident. The film focuses on nuclear physicist Stanton Friedman and author Donald Schmitt. I've met Donald Schmitt, not met Stanton Friedman, but Donald Schmitt's an interesting character. He's very passionate about the subject. Anyway, who endeavoured to figure out the truth behind the story. The film is partly based on Witness to Roswell, which Schmitt wrote with Thomas Carey. So there we go. It's the 80th anniversary of the Roswell incident next year, isn't it? 2027. 80th anniversary, crikey. When I worked for UFO Data magazine, we had a conference back in 2007, Roswell 60, which were fun. Because we had Jesse Marcel Jr. We got him over from, not to say we, the organisers did, got Jesse Marcel Jr. over, so I met him, and so that were cool. Drove him to the airport for his flight home, and my car decided to break down, so my brother had to run to the rescue with his car. Anyway. Right, where were we? What's good to all these bloody adverts look for Temu and stuff? Anyway, Roswell no longer feels like folklore. It feels like unfinished business, says Zabel, who just launched an I Heart podcast on the UAP topic titled Sound, Light and Frequency. Instead of seeing Roswell as pop culture, our whole package, script, director, IP, treats it like a crime scene. This isn't a movie about little green men. This is about what happens to ordinary people when the impossible crashes into their lives. So is it going to have, the crash in it? Is it going to... Is the crash incidental to what happens to the people? Is it a drama about how it affects these people and we're hardly going to see the crash and the aliens, the bodies? Probably, I don't know. We'll see. This is about what happens to ordinary people when the impossible crashes into their lives. These two researchers are American heroes who never gave up and found hundreds of witnesses to this event. And then there are the heavy hitters wading into this. Spielberg has his Universal Film Disclosure Day about the global panic and societal upheaval when humanity receives undeniable proof that aliens exist. While Jerry Bruckheimer is producing a UFO disclosure thriller for Apple Original Films, directed by Kaczynski, Top Gun Maverick, that's been described as a UFO-themed All the President's Men. Congressional UAP whistleblower David Grush is attached as a consultant on the Kaczynski film. There's even a new reboot of The X-Files in the works for Hulu with Sinners writer-director Ryan Coogler. This topic is fascinating, and it's been fun to find people who are really into it, because it's a hole you can disappear into when you're talking to the people who are in the middle of it, Kaczynski tells The Hollywood Reporter. There's so much information that is not public yet about various things. This movie is going to blow people's minds. So that's, what's he doing? I've forgotten already. Does it say what it's called? I can't remember. The Jerry Bruckheimer one. No, we ain't got a title for that one, have we? 28-day chair yoga at my age. To some extent, minds have already been a bit blown, or at least perplexed, by real-world events. Last year, a buzzy documentary, filmmaker Dan Farrer's The Age of Disclosure. I don't think I've got around to watching that yet. I don't think. Contained interviews. I've heard it's not that good, but anyway. Contained interviews with 34 current and former government officials discussing UAPs. The film reportedly broke Prime Video's VOD record for its highest-grossing documentary of all time when it dropped in November. I don't think I've seen it. Anyway. In the last 2 weeks, Barack Obama made global headlines for casually saying aliens are real before clarifying he meant aliens likely exist somewhere in the universe. His remarks spurred Donald Trump to raise eyebrows by claiming Obama had revealed classified information. And the president then announced on February 20th he would declassify and release files related to UFOs/UAPs. The zeitgeist of our moment right now is the UFO-UAP reality issue, Zabel says. I think we are seeing more and more projects come forward because people are now becoming aware for the first time that this is a serious thing and it's not crazy. You couldn't have two presidents that are more different than Obama and Trump, and yet both of them are entertaining the possibility that this is real. And with Obama, it's very similar to the Roswell thing. You tell the truth, and then you have to buy it back. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Next up is Spielberg's Disclosure Day, which drops June 12th. Spielberg has been fascinated by the UFO topic his whole career, with his 1977 classic Close Encounters of the Third Kind still considered by many to be the most compelling dramatisation of the subject and one of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion. In a behind-the-scenes video discussing Disclosure Day, Spielberg said, people's questions about what is not only going on in our skies, but what is going on in our worlds, in our realities, has reached a critical mass of people's complete fascination with, are we alone or are we not alone? It's just word salad in it from Spielberg. And if someone knows we're not alone, why have we not been told? Well, that's the question, isn't it? That's the question. What the hell is that? I've no idea. Spielberg's film has been generating some conspiracies online, given its tagline, All Will Be Disclosed, and its title similarity to the Age of Disclosure documentary. Just make sure we're still going, by the way. Just make sure we're still going. Yeah. Look over on Rumble. Yeah, we're still fine. Right. Put simply, some believe the documentary and Disclosure Day are part of a terrible name, Disclosure Day. It really is. It's up there with Mandalorian and Grogu, isn't it? Are part of a coordinated government Hollywood movement to prepare humanity for the near-term disclosure of alien life. The fact that Farah was a producer on Spielberg's Ready Player One has added fuel to this. What? And the narrative has gone into overdrive since Obama and Trump's viral comments. What's Ready Player One got to do with it? I don't know. That wasn't about UFOs. That was about AI, or sort of the big gaming and virtual reality. That's what Ready Player One was about, wasn't it? Anyway, it's unclear if such confusion over Spielberg's film will help or hurt its box office potential. I don't think it'll do that well, to be honest. Anyway, Universal declined to discuss its marketing for the film. What's the budget for it, I wonder? Disclosure Day budget. Doesn't say. We don't know the budget. It'll be quite a bit, I imagine, because it's got Emily Blunt in it, so she'll get a lot of money, won't she? Justice says, I believe they're real, but there is the feeling that there may be a Project Bluebeam, how they use it. Yes, that's one thing we've got to consider, Project Bluebeam, where a fake alien invasion or a fake religious event in it. People be seeing Jesus in the clouds or the Virgin Mary or something like that, or a UFO fleet bearing down on us. Sorry, messed that text up bad. Don't worry about it, Justin, it's fine. I forgot where we were now. To be clear, says the Hollywood Reporter, there have been plenty of reports pushing back on the UAPs as aliens narrative, though they tend to get less attention than the it's aliens claims. The UFO/UAP phenomena is an all of the above. It's everything. It's interdimensional, time travel, from other worlds, other solar systems. It's everything, spirituality, all that stuff. It's all part of it. Just he's got sausage fingers. Sausage with a beef burger for the palm of your hand. Where were we? It's aliens claims. A Wall Street Journal story last June reported that the Pentagon has seeded and encouraged UFO myths as a way of providing cover for real top-secret test flights of cutting-edge aircraft. The Pentagon has also resolutely maintained that they have found no sign of alien life in reported UFO sightings going back decades. I mean, there are amazing technologies available to the US military. But I still don't think they've got. They do have aircraft, the Project Aurora and all that. Can do things that we can't even imagine. Go super fast and that, but I don't think they've got stuff that could just stop and start and like instant acceleration from 0 to thousands of miles an hour. I don't think we've got that sort of stuff yet. But you never know. Or it could be what's called the ARVs, Alien Reproduction Vehicles, which is stuff we've built or back-engineered from, extraterrestrial or alien or whatever, wherever they've got it from, technology. Much like in Stargate, the back-engineered gold technology to make the starships and space fighters and stuff that are in Stargate. It's that sort of thing. Because Stargate's real. Anyway, Wingrace says, it's an error and bleed through into our virtual realm. Yeah, well, that's another possibility. You never know, because a lot of talk about portals and stuff recently. There's like portal areas, isn't there, where a lot of weird stuff happens, like Skinwalker Ranch, for instance. So, like I say, it's an all of the above, just You can't count anything out, and that puts a lot of people off, because a lot of people want it to be nuts and bolts aliens, like Independence Day, that sort of thing, but without the destruction. You know what I mean? And it having a genuinely alien feel to it, things that we can't really comprehend. A lot of people don't like that. But I do, because I think, the more alien, the better, which is why I like films like The Objective, which we have covered in, I can't remember if it's Magnificent Mondays or Appointment with Fear. It could have been either, I can't remember. But The Objective was a film that saw a CIA investigator go to Afghanistan to look up. They got reports that the satellites had found a weird object. So he went to find, to investigate it, and they thought it was like Vimanas, which are, spaceships of the gods from Sanskrit texts, and they went looking for them, and like I said, that were all weird. That got weird towards the end, but I like stuff like that. Anyway, things that can't be easily explained. It is beyond our ken. Anyway, I forgot what I were up to. The Pentagon has also... I've said that bit. Similarly, new NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman recently told the New York Times he has not seen any evidence, secret or otherwise, that his agency has encountered proof of alien life. He has not seen any evidence, so that means he hasn't looked. Anyway, there are UFO believers... Oh, excuse me. Oh. There are UFO believers who blend these two seemingly conflicting ideas. That most orbs and crafts and lights in the sky are indeed not yet revealed US military technology, which has been reverse engineered from, you guessed it, retrievals of crashed alien spacecraft like the one at Roswell. Yes, that's ARVs. For Farrer, who says he was firmly convinced by his Age of Disclosure documentary participants, the real-world disclosure movement and the pop-cultural side naturally travel hand in hand. Film has always helped usher in cultural transformation and accelerate change, Farrer said. We wouldn't be living through this extraordinary time without the cultural impact Steven Spielberg made with Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. We're now seeing multiple films about the existence of non-human intelligent life being covered up by the US government because we are living in the age of disclosure, the moment in history in which we learn we are not alone in the universe and that the truth has been kept from us for 80 years. Beatrice Verhoeven contributed to this report. Thank you, Beatrice. Oh, there we go. I wonder what Beatrice did, but she contributed. I'm saying she, I'm just guessing by the name. So there we go. So yes, a few films about UFOs and stuff are coming out at the same time. But as I said, Hollywood does tend to do that. And I don't know if it's deliberate or if it's just this weird thing that happens in Hollywood. Just something enters the as I said, the zeitgeist, and it responds kind of naturally, I suppose. But anyway, I don't know if I'm looking forward to this Steven Spielberg film. I wasn't over-impressed with the trailer, to be completely honest, for Disclosure Day. Particularly bloody, I forgot her name now, Emily Blunt going, giving it all. I thought, what's going on? But it did kind of look a bit like a sequel to Close Encounters. There's some like shots and stuff. I'm thinking, is it connected? Is there going to be a connection? I don't know. But I said it'd be nice if it ended with Roy Neary coming back. A de-aged Richard Dreyfuss. Anyway, just interested. Hollywood goes in cycles. Yes, it does indeed. I'm interested. I have a feeling it will make me mad. It's Spielberg, so it'll likely be very watchable. But I don't think it'll be like Close Encounters, which is almost perfect film in my opinion. I love that. It's my second favourite film of all time, after King Kong. But anyway, so there we go. I'm also looking forward to that Roswell one, but I hope they don't focus on the people. Oh, gives us stuff about the people. I want to see a spaceship and aliens. And people getting threatened by, military. We'll take you out be quiet, or we'll take you out in the desert and bury you. And all that stuff. So there we go. So that's that interesting article. What's next? Next up, we've got a Daily Mail article. All right, we're on Majestic 12 territory now. So we'll move on to the next article because we're an hour and a half in and we're only halfway. Bloody hell. Right, share this tab. Here we go. Daily Mail. Clues. Chris Meller, sorry. Very unprofessional. Clues in Majestic 12 UFO files the FBI claimed were fake. Prove secret alien unit was real. Researcher claims, says Chris Meller, US Assistant Science Editor. Right, is that big enough? Yeah. A trove of controversial UFO documents describing a secret government group tasked with recovering alien spacecraft may be authentic after all. Justin says, it looked like the movie with Amy Adams, Arrival, which I didn't like. I liked that, but it was kind of a letdown. And about Arrival, that was Amy Adams, I think, wasn't it? Which I didn't like. That was boring. Didn't like it. Watch Epoch instead, which were kind of the same film, but better and cheaper and made earlier. A researcher claims the long-debated Majestic 12 MJ12 papers, dismissed for decades as fake by the FBI, contain official intelligence filing numbers that match real CIA records from the same era. The documents allege that a group of 12 high-ranking military and scientific officials secretly spent more than 2 decades investigating crashed alien craft, studying non-human technology, and attempting to communicate with extraterrestrials. The anonymous investigator said the breakthrough came after comparing administrative stamps and file numbers on the MJ12 papers with those found on publicly released CIA documents from the 1940s and 1950s. According to the theory, the numbering systems and classification markings used on the controversial UFO papers match formats once used by the US intelligence community. I wouldn't say, is it one of the Woods? The researcher examined MJ12 files shared by Ryan Wood, a UFO investigator and author. There is Dad as well, whose name I've forgotten, who possesses physical copies of documents that first leaked to the public in the 1980s. Justin says, yes, Arrival was good, but a bit boring, yes. Epoch was good. I liked Epoch. Project Hail Mary looks good. Good book also. I didn't like Arrival. I didn't. It did me head in. Much like Interstellar did me head in. Anyway. Wood told the Daily Mail that the archive includes more than 3,500 government documents referencing the mysterious group and the secret projects it allegedly conducted. Despite those claims, the FBI previously stamped several of the MJ12 files as bogus, dismissing them as fabrications and fueling decades of debate about whether the documents were genuine or an elaborate hoax. And there we see one of the documents, I imagine, Majestic 12 project. There with that magic. I've been into UFOs like donkey's years, and I've never seen anywhere what MAGIC stands for. MAJIC. It's just short of Majestic. I thought, but is it though? Is it an acronym of something? Because JIC usually stands for something like Joint Intelligence Committee or something like that, doesn't it? What does the MA stand for? Don't know. Anyway, so there we go. So that's that. Lots of the names look on Majestic 12. Vannevar Bush and where else? Well, we got Vandenberg and there's a Hillenkotter in there somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. Can't see it. Robert Oppenheimer, Hunsaker, etc. Right, where were we? The unnamed researcher, writing on Substack under the pseudonym MJ12 Logic, argued that the similarities he discovered while comparing the MJ12 papers with real CIA documents could not have been forged by someone outside the government. According to his analysis, several administrative stamps and filing numbers appearing on the controversial UFO papers matched markings used in authentic intelligence records from the same era. His investigation uncovered identical codes on documents connected to Operation Paperclip, a secret post-World War II program run by US military and intelligence agencies to recruit German scientists and engineers who had worked on advanced Nazi weapons and technology. Like I said, Von Braun, for instance. Justin says, I loved Interstellar, a classic, but that's me. Yes, that's fine. I know a lot of people really like Interstellar, but I didn't like it. The programme ultimately helped lay the groundwork for America's space programme and the creation of NASA, although many details of Operation Paperclip remained classified for decades. The researcher found that the same stamp, 834021- appears on both the MJ12 papers and 345 pages of Operation Paperclip documents, which were not declassified until June 22nd, 2022. Did you just say the N-word on YouTube? No? What are you on about? Some say when the nuke test dropped, the aliens made official contact because of it. Some have said that, haven't they? Which is, a valid hypothesis. But I think they've been here a long time. But anyway. Oh, the bad guys from Germany. Oh, them. I thought you meant the other end, was there? I don't remember saying it. But yeah, because we were talking about Nazi weapons. I'm going to say, because it's there, black and white. You can say the bloody word. Anyway. It's probably why my videos don't get a lot of views, because, I just say what I want to say. But not that N-word. Not the other one. Other markings that appear on both the CIA files and the supposedly fake MJ12 documents include, whatever, them. I can't be bothered. The researcher argued, does it matter? The researcher argued that these matching administrative codes would have been nearly impossible for a hoaxer to reproduce accurately in the 1980s, when many of the authentic CIA records had not yet been released to the public. See there. Wood praised the analysis, saying he's doing a great job. Excuse me. He's digging in the right spots and doing a good job of the historical research. It's definitely on point and logical, fair and highly credible. Yes, the bad guys from Germany. Yes, the Nazis. And here's another document from CIA, and there's a circling the numbers and stuff. Hilling Cotter, there he is. Apparently he's got a spaceship named after him, if you believe Gary McKinnon. But anyway, the USS Hilling Cotter. And there's another one. What does it say, by the way? In connection with paragraph 1 of reference, the Central Intelligence Agency does not believe that any further action by CINCEUR, that's something to do with something, Commander-in-Chief Europe, probably, isn't it, will be necessary. Whatever Project 63 is, don't know. 2. Pertinent information from reference and its attachments have been given to the Bureau of Mines, Department of Interior, and the National Bureau of Standards, Department of Commerce, for their information, and Central Intelligence Agency, Department of Mines, has asked to be advised of action or information obtained by those agencies as a result. Have they found something in a mine, I wonder? Dug something up? Anyway. The moustache man, ha! I hate when people use that in videos. Online lingo's got out of control. Because people are scared, aren't they, to say certain things on YouTube. Because, then their video won't get into the algorithm. Because YouTube doesn't like certain words. Probably why my video is Star Trek Dead's not getting any views, because I've got the word dead in the title. Anyway, sod it, I don't care. And yet you get other videos and live streams and stuff like that. People effing and blinding and using C words and all sorts all over the place. They get tens of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. Bloody hate YouTube sometimes. Pisses me off. Yes, I said it. Anyway, where were we? Right. And another one here. What's this one? Suggested procedure for a new paperclip project. The starting point of a new paperclip project should be to set up an administrative organisation made up of Germans. They would first set up a list of specialists willing to come over, which list might contain some 100 names, blah, 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 blah. So they put them in camps and stuff, didn't they? All these Nazis, which there were, and they remain Nazis, because there are photos of them, working under Project Paperclip, working for the Americans, but they were proud Nazis, and they even still showed their, swastikas and stuff like that. They had them like nailed up, on where they were living and stuff. Should have sent them to Argentina with all the others. I can understand some, but a lot is ridiculous. Yes. Anyway, where were we? Right, all of these markings were part of numerical filing, registry, routing, whatever, and control systems used by US intelligence agencies in the 1940s and 1950s. Wingrace says, I was dead in a video title once, and according to Vidic, that suppressed it in the algorithm. Don't know if that's true. There you go. Because they don't want you to use, like, negative terminology, do they? Don't want to upset people using your negative terms. You're not allowed to say, you're not allowed to say suicide, are you? You've got to say, Minecrafted themselves. Does me head in. Anyway, they formed part of the standard records management practices used to organise, track and store classified reports during that era. Since many of those systems were not publicly documented for decades, the researcher argued it would have been extremely difficult for an outsider to replicate them convincingly. It's virtually impossible to logically reconcile this supporting evidence with the idea that Majestic 12 was just some paperwork invented during the 1980s, the researcher posted on Substack. I'm still not sure what Substack is. I've asked before and Wingrace has explained it to me and I've forgotten. Because I don't know when the Minecraft thing started. It used to be sewer slide. Oh, yes, because you would use like rhyming slang, hadn't you, as well? Like to use PDF. You'd use the word like PDF files, hadn't you? For a certain other phrase. For crying out loud. Wood also questioned the FBI's long-standing dismissal of the files, noting agents famously stamped several of the documents bogus. According to Wood, that decision was not based on proof the papers were fabricated, but rather on the agency's inability to determine where the documents originated. By the way, Wood, I forgot his name already. It says up here, doesn't it? Him and his dad. Where is he? Ryan Wood and his dad, whose name I can't remember. They did like an analysis of a document that from a photo that you could see in Jesse Marcel's hand during the infamous Roswell debris photo, which was just a weather balloon, debris from a weather balloon. But the like he had like documents in his hand, and they were able to. They analysed that and they were able to make out words in the document, and there was stuff like flying disc and stuff like that, and recovered, and I think even the word bodies were in there as well. But anyway, Wingrace says Substack is kind of like Patreon, where you publish stuff to your followers. Okie dokie. Too much of this sort of stuff going on. People having followers. Anyway, according to Wood, that decision was not based on proof the papers were fabricated, but rather on the agency's inability to determine where the documents originated. If you dig a little deeper, you discover that the FBI is responsible for investigating leaks of classified information, Wood said. They took the document around to all the three-letter agencies and asked, "Did you lose this? Is this out of your files?" Nobody would admit to it. It's no wonder. They labelled it bogus and moved on, he added, suggesting the CIA may have known the documents were genuine all along. Excuse me. Wood said UFO researchers have spent decades conducting forensic checks on the paper type, typewriter fonts, stamps, dates and internal consistency of the alleged MJ12 documents. Every document has its own authenticity rating, and every document has stronger or weaker authenticity. We take it document by document, but it only takes one, and there are plenty that are in the super highly credible category, the researcher declared. Oh, there we go, there's Jesse Marcel with the Roswell wreckage, but not with the documents that we saw. According to the documents, MJ12 included Admiral Roscoe Hillenkotter. It's a cool name, isn't it? The first CIA director, Dr. Vannevar Bush. Hillenkotter was the first CIA director. Dr. Vannevar Bush, head of US scientific research during World War II. James Forrestal, the first US Secretary of Defense, who fell out of a hospital window, or, Minecrafted himself out of a hospital window. Yeah. And General Nathan Twining, the Air Force commander in charge of research and development of new aircraft. Excuse me. Hoover had intel on everyone and everything. I imagine he did, yes. Old J. Edgar with his dresses. Despite the US intelligence community's attempt to discredit the files as fakes, shocking details involving MJ12 and a secret face-to-face encounter with alien life were made public through the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in 1991. Yes, hospitals are famous for windows that open. So it was back in, I can't remember when it was now. 1949 or something like that. I can't remember. Or the early 50s. I can't remember exactly when it was now. But he was at the Bethesda Hospital, wasn't he, in Maryland? And I think that he threw himself out of the window. But that's people saying no, he probably didn't. Anyway, the files, many of which were never added to the CIA's archives. I think they're going about that in this. I think in Dark Skies. Anyway. The files, many of which were never added to the CIA's archives, stated that MJ12 oversaw 4 specific projects charged with communicating with aliens, researching UFOs, recovering crashed alien ships, and testing out advanced technology. The MJ12 files noted it took 5 years before they finally made successful contact with UFOs in 1959, noting that the group established primitive communications with the aliens using binary code sent by radio. Cool. I've not heard that before. This basic form of communication allegedly led to the meeting between the Air Force and extraterrestrials in 1964. I forgot where it was now. At that Air Force base. Which one was it now? I can't remember. I can't remember which Air Force. It was near Socorro in New Mexico. It was there. I can't remember though. Because I think we're on the same day that Lonnie Zamora saw the egg shaped, like Tic Tac shaped craft that had landed. It was on that same day, and may actually be the craft may actually be in the documentary UFOs It Has Begun, or UFOs Past, Present, Future. It's got different titles. The one written and hosted by the Twilight Zone fella. Oh, why am I blanking? Him, hosted by him. And there's some footage that apparently some people have said it is actual footage that has snuck out, and they've snuck it into the film of the actual craft coming down. You can't really, it's just a white blob, but apparently that is it. Apparently. There were even supposed to be footage of the aliens, because they were promised all this footage of the meeting, the 1964 meeting, and they were promised footage of it, and then at the last minute they didn't get it. But so that's why a big part of that documentary just shows, like, they got somebody to do some quick paintings of the meeting, but they were supposed to get the actual footage, but it wasn't forthcoming in the end. They backtracked. God, I wish I could remember the. It's on tip of my tongue. It begins with H. Anyway, never mind. I forgot where I am now. I'll read this bit again. Saul Rubinek filmed the whole thing for future release, though. Yes, he did. Just like in SG-1. This basic form of communication allegedly led to the meeting between the Air Force and extraterrestrials in 1964, with MJ-12 stating that an Air Force officer managed to exchange basic information with the two aliens. Sort of tip of my tongue, that bloody Air Force base. The US government has maintained that there has never been any physical proof that UFOs or alien life exists. In 1988, the US intelligence community added that there were serious inconsistencies and formatting errors in the secret MJ-12 documents, including an alleged briefing on the project addressed to President Eisenhower that agents have called a forgery. Is that it? Yes, that's it. I've got any comments. I've got loads of comments. I won't go through them. I'm going to have to bloody look it up. It's doing me head in. I'll remember just as a thingy. Holloman Air Force Base. That's what I'm trying to bloody think of. I like Holloway going through my head for some reason. Holloman Air Force Base. There we go. See if I can find the shot that is allegedly supposed to be actual video of Holloman Air Force Base UFO landing. Just bear with me. I'll just mute that. Oh, there it is. Yes, that's it. There we go. I will just drag this over here. I'll full screen it. No, what? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Don't full screen it. Josh. Photographic mission. What they call him? Him that did Twilight Zone. Oh, God, I can't remember. This allegedly... Hang on, it's full screen it. There we go. Is real footage. Share this tab instead. There we go. It's allegedly real footage of the craft descending to Holloman Air Force Base. It says 1971 there, but it was 1964. As far as I know. Anyway, there we go. That apparently that's all. Yeah. Anyway, where's the rest now? I'll get rid of that. I've done something wrong now. I've got rid of it. Silly sod. There we go. Right, back again. Blimey. Two aliens, and they use binary. I guess we know where Star Trek got that idea. Yes, it was the binars. Is this good for this? Rod Serling. Yes, thank you, Wingrace. Just tell me. He wants to spark my memories. Rod Serling, that's the fella. Imagine the road. So there we go. Yes, that's very interesting. So that's it. I think Majestic 12 did exist. Probably still does in one form or another. Very interesting. Very interesting. We went down a rabbit hole then, didn't we? Anyway, what's next? Confirm form resubmission. What are you talking about? What's this one? Continue. Cyber news. Performing security verification. What are you talking about? Come on, then. Oops, an error occurred. All right, so we can't have that article. Why is that not working? I'll try it again. We'll hit... oh, there we go. It's come up now. Right. Share this tab instead. There we go. From Cyber News. That were weird. Declassified Antarctic UFO case. 1991 Argentine base recorded impossible atmospheric signal. I don't think that's real. Marcus Walsh, journalist, reports. Is that big enough? Yeah, it'll do. I'll make it a bit big. There we go. Documents released to the public have surfaced in Argentina regarding a UFO cover-up of a 1990s sighting in Antarctica, the country's Minister of Foreign Affairs has revealed. Miguel Amaya, a former Air Force official, testified in the early 2000s that bizarre encounters occurred at the General San Martin or whatever, military base close to the South Pole. The incident reportedly began around 1:15 a.m. on a spring night in late April or early May, close to the South Pole. I don't think no military base. This is in Antarctica. I bet it'll be like, southern Argentina, and close to the Chile border. I imagine Tierra del Fuego or somewhere like that. But anyway. The incident reportedly began about 1:15 a.m. on a mid-spring night in late April or early May 1991. A laboratory alarm connected to an ionospheric monitoring instrument called a ryometer suddenly activated out of the blue. With his curiosity piqued, the engineer called the meteorological station to ask whether any radio equipment was transmitting. Ingrid says Nega Santa lives there. Stop using N-words. According to Amaya, no transmissions were happening, making the signal even more eerie. Researchers then activated a graphic recorder that tracked ionospheric radio absorption with 3 needles. At first, the instrument behaved normally, but minutes later, something bizarre happened. As Amaya recalled, after 5 minutes, the 3 indicator needles began to make the same marks, which the engineer explained was impossible. And then we have a picture of, cosmic background radiation. I don't know, but anyway. A ryometer is a device that measures cosmic radio noise, in the ionosphere, Earth's upper atmosphere, by tracking radio wave absorption at different frequencies. Normally, each frequency produces a different pattern on the recorder. During the incident, however, the 3 needles began tracing identical patterns simultaneously. Dun, dun, dun. The signal also appeared in intermittent bursts lasting 10 to 15 minutes. According to the witness, the fluctuations were intense enough to disrupt the recording system. According to Amaya, sometimes with such force that the needles would jump off the belt. The anomaly reportedly lasted roughly 4.5 hours, generating dozens of meters of paper data. Researchers struggled to find any natural explanation for the readings. According to the testimony, the engineer used an extreme comparison to describe the signal's strength. Amaya recalled him saying the readings were as if the American aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk had been anchored 10 metres from the house with its nuclear engines running. Why did he pick that particular one? I don't know, but anyway. Another comparison suggested the equivalent of a city like Buenos Aires, suspended 100 metres above the ground. At one point, the scientists even stepped outside with flashlights to check the sky. They reportedly wondered if a UFO could be hovering above the base, causing the interference. The signal finally stopped around 5:30 a.m. And then there's, things on the screen. The strange measurements were not the only unusual event reported that day. Roughly 16 hours later, a member of the base allegedly saw something in the sky. The witness had stepped outside during heavy snow and low clouds. According to Amaya's testimony, the observer suddenly looked upward. He reportedly saw a huge circle of light, very dim due to the cloud cover. The object appeared to move slowly and silently toward the sea. By the time others were alerted, the light had disappeared. According to the account, the engineer reported the anomaly to his superior via radio the next day. The reaction reportedly halted further discussion. Oh, the reaction. Shut up! That's what they told him. Amaya said the supervisor responded, "There are some things that can't be discussed over the radio." The engineer... shut up! The engineer was instructed to personally deliver the recording rolls months later. Argentina has now confirmed that 9 rolls of ryometer data from 1991 still exist. The documents are currently stored at the Argentine Antarctic Institute. Researchers say the newly released records could allow scientists to re-examine the unexplained atmospheric disturbance decades later. And that's it. So there we go. So that's interesting. Back in 1991, did the UFO hover over that research base or whatever. It says military base close to. There's no military base on Antarctica. They're not allowed, are they? But anyway, like that. What it just like that in real life? I bet it was. So anyway, so there we go. I just thought that was interesting. Right. Where's all the rest of my news stories gone? Oh, there they are. There they are. Right, next up. International the news. Share this tab instead. Off we go. Alien contact attempts to have may have gone unnoticed for decades, study suggests. When alien signals travel through space, there are high chances that these signals might get smeared. And there's an alien, look. For decades, I don't know who wrote it, it just says the news digital. For decades, humanity has been looking for answers, make it a bit bigger there, to unravel the mystery excuse me, surrounding aliens' existence, but they have failed. Crikey. By the way, I think, is it international? Is it this one that may not be like a reliable news source? What is it? International the news. I might be thinking of something else. A new study has revealed that the search for aliens may be flawed and humans may have overlooked alien contact for years. Sorry, Wingrace says, let's hope it wasn't an alien probe looking to speak to the dodos. Well, this is it, isn't it? The dodo. Bit of a long way from, Antarctica to, was it Mauritius, where dodos were from. Apparently they were delicious, which is why they're extinct. Where were we? I'll read that bit again. A new study has revealed that the search for aliens may be flawed and humans may have overlooked alien contact for years. Crop circles. According to the scientists, aliens may have been trying to contact us, but humanity is missing their signals due to space weather, responsible for distorting incoming transmissions. They warned that messages being sent from distant planets hosting extraterrestrial life could be disrupted by activity from nearby stars and solar weather. What, all the time? Scientists have searched for the existence of non-intelligent beings by... Non-intelligent beings? What are they talking about? By hunting for spikes in radio frequencies, since natural objects like stars or pulsars do not actually make these clean specific sounds. It is always assumed such sounds are being sent by aliens. What are they talking about? Anyway, I imagine they'll mention the wow signal. There we go. Justin says, E.T. keeps calling, we don't pick up. I can see E.T. screaming at the phone because we don't pick up. It was the voicemail. That's why you need to use subspace relays. Yes, it is. Like in the movie. What, E.T.? Phone home. I forgot where I was now. Because this article doesn't make a lot of sense. I wonder if it's been translated from another language, I don't know. However, the recent study published by the Astrophysical Journal suggests that extraterrestrial life may actually be broadcasting thin, precise signals. When these signals travel through space, there are high chances that these signals might get smeared, making it look like vague background noise rather than a sharp sound. According to Vishal Gajar, astronomer at the SETI Institute and lead author of the paper, SETI searchers are often optimised for extremely narrow signals. Is this the title? Oh, no, just saying it. If a signal gets broadened by its own star's environment, it can slip below our detection thresholds, even if it's there. By quantifying, sorry, those toes put me off for a minute. By quantifying how stellar activity can reshape narrowband signals, we can design searches that are better matched to what actually arrives at Earth, not just what might be transmitted, said Grace C. Brown, co-author of the study and research assistant at the SETI Institute. Any more? Is that it? Oh, right. Fair enough. What's going on with these toes? I don't know. I'm not sure what they're trying to say. They're just saying... Because they know what to look for, don't they? Because that's why the wow signal was so amazing at the time. because they know what they look, getting signals from space, and they know that they're searching on a certain frequency. They know what numbers they're going to get. Then if anything goes out of those parameters, they know it's something different. That's what they're looking for, isn't it? Justin says, "Hello, you reached Earth. Sorry, we are busy right now. I can't pick up the phone. We are busy being the centre of the universe." Very good. But why would aliens want to contact us anyway? Well, they're not, have they? They're just sending signals. There will be. There'll be, people on other planets. They'll be just like we are here, wanting to know if they are because there's not only aliens zipping about in flying saucers and all that stuff, and abducting people and doing all this stuff. There'll be other people on other planets, maybe with a similar level of technology as us, wondering, are they out there and sending signals out like we've done? Anyway, maybe one day we'll detect them. Who knows? We have already, probably. But anyway, so there we go. So that's that one. Whatever. Next up. What's this next one? This one's a part 2, and I've not seen part 1. But whatever. we'll plod on. Albuquerque Journal guest column. Opinion: Are UAPs nuclear sentinels? Part 2. Roswell revisited. I haven't read part 1. But anyway, never mind. Maybe they're leaving messages for us on Alpha Centauri. Or in crop circles. That's what they're doing. And there's Jesse Marcel again. Met his son. Shook his hand. Roswell Army Air Base was located 150 air miles. What's different between an air mile and a regular mile? I don't know. I thought air miles were what you got if you flew on like British Airways. Anyway. From Sandia Base, south of Albuquerque. Who wrote this, by the way? Oh, David Marks. South of Albuquerque, the lab where nuclear weapons were being developed and assembled. In July 1947, as the two key nuclear installations conducted joint operations, a startling event occurred halfway between them. Near the village of Corona, a rancher reported wreckage from a strange crashed aircraft. As the crow flies. Well, yes. I don't think, whenever somebody says, like, if like New York is 150 miles from, I don't know, Tadcaster, New York or whatever, I don't know, I'm making something. I don't think, going higgledy-piggledy way. I always think as the crow flies. Anyway, whatever. An intelligence team from Roswell assessed the site and collected debris, reporting back to Base Commander Colonel William Blanchard. On July 8, 1947, with his consent, the press officer issued a news release. I thought Corona were a different site. Because there were Mac Brazel, weren't there, at the, I can't remember what the name of the ranch now, on the ranch that he worked, and I thought Corona was the second crash site where they found the bodies. I could be wrong. I wasn't there. Anyway, the press release. The many rumours regarding the flying discs became a reality yesterday. By the way, I think were written and released by Walter Haut, H-A-U-T. The many rumours regarding the flying discs became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Atomic Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the ranchers and sheriff's office of Chavez County. The flying object landed on a ranch near Roswell sometime last week. Not having phone facilities, the rancher stored the disc until such a time as he was able to contact the sheriff's office, who in turn notified Jesse A. Marcel of the 509th Bomb Group Intelligence Office. Action was immediately taken and the disc was picked up at the rancher's home. It was inspected at the Roswell Army Airfield and subsequently loaned by Major Jesse Marcel to higher headquarters. The Roswell Daily Record published the spectacular headline, RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. I don't think it actually says that. I thought it said flying disc. I'm going to have to check that now. Images. Oh no, it does say flying saucer. Sorry, it's right. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it said flying disc. Oh no, it might have been like a subsequent article where it's just like Ramey empties disc or something like that. Don't it? Something like that. Anyway, whatever. I forgot what I want now. Sorry. Justin says, we return your call in the order it was received. If it's an emergency, say we have oil and you will be contacted by US representative immediately. US. There'd probably be one of those, if they're trying to contact us, we just have a press 1 if you want to contact us peacefully. Press 2 if you wish to invade and enslave us all. Or hold the line for one of our agents. Brigadier General Roger Ramey, commander of the 8th Army Air Force, 300 miles away in Fort Worth, Texas, quickly contradicted Blanchard's original assessment. Within 24 hours, the public had been assured the disc was a weather balloon. Blanchard's silence after this reversal was never challenged. Wingrace says space oil, which is helium-3. That's not technically oil, is it? But that's the big thing they want to get from the moon, apparently, isn't it? Helium-3. Blanchard's silence after this reversal was never challenged. No one asked the commander of the only nuclear bomber fleet in the world. When did atomic become nuclear, by the way? When did atomic bombs become nuclear? I know I've asked this before, and I've never looked it up, and I keep forgetting. Who would soon become the Strategic Air Command's Director of Operations, how the intelligence team of a nuclear base could mistake a crashed weather balloon for an unearthly disc. Oh, pardon me. In 1978, Marcel, the officer who collected the debris, broke his silence. He said the Yorkshire pronunciation is debris, but ever since we've been watching like Star Trek and stuff, they always pronounce it debris. He said that Ramey in Fort Worth had instructed him to support the weather balloon cover story, adding, "Of course, we both knew differently." In subsequent interviews, Marcel described the metal debris as unbendable and unbreakable. The I-beams. They couldn't bend the I-beams or break the I-beams, but the sheets that could be crunched up in your hand and then it'd unfold magically. Anyway. The ramifications of finding unique material from a strange crashed disk in proximity to the country's nuclear arsenal appeared beyond consideration. Instead, Roswell has become synonymous with the epitome of UFO conspiracy theories and an ongoing subject of derision. In 1997, 50 years after the Roswell incident, the Air Force offered a second explanation for the mysterious crash, claiming the disk was a component of a secret high-tech military balloon. The Project Mogul, wasn't it? That's what they're saying. Researchers have found inconsistencies with this account, including that it fails to clarify why Blanchard and Marcel, officers at a secure nuclear installation, were not briefed about classified tests in their operational area. The Air Force failed to quell the growing evidence after the initial press release was accurate. Had the displays ended, Roswell might have remained in an isolated incident. However, UFOs were seen elsewhere. We all know that what happened in 1947, it was the Ferengi shuttle, wasn't it, of Quark and his brother and Nog. Odo were there as well, wasn't it? Anyway, where were we? Whatever arrived in 1947 near the 509th marked the beginning of decades of observations and interventions. After the Roswell incident, reports from nuclear sites confirmed the phenomenon had only begun. Green and red orbs with hypersonic velocity paced radiation clouds from nuclear testing. Discs were seen over rural and urban America. Experienced pilots reported flying saucers with unprecedented speed and aerial dynamics. I've actually seen that recently on a video, and I can't remember where I saw it. Maybe it's the video that I'm going to show later on, or clips from it. Of like a nuclear explosion or an atomic test or whatever, and it's like lights zipping across the sky really close to it. Probably our aircraft. Anyway, Justice says, I think it became nuclear between 1958 and 1960. The atomic age was 45 to 58. Experts, I think, nuclear describes the energy process better. But it doesn't sound as good as atomic. The atomic horror. Anyway. I thought, I didn't know, but I thought maybe with the invention of like the hydrogen bomb, I thought that when it became nuclear. Anyway. Where were we? Discs were seen over rural and urban America. Experienced pilots reported flying saucers with unprecedented speed and aerial dynamics. In April 1952, Life magazine, then reaching a quarter of the US population, published Have We Visitors from Space? A detailed article about increasing activity near military bases. The story quoted a radar officer at an atomic installation who described a 1949 incident. I was startled to detect I'll take in a posh British accent, to detect 5 apparently metal objects flying south at tremendous speed and great height. They crossed the 300-mile scope in less than 4 minutes. After consulting with physicists, astronomers, and guided missile experts, the Life authors concluded that the objects cannot be explained by present science as natural phenomena, but solely as artificial devices created and operated by a high intelligence. I'm just going to mention the comments by what I mentioned earlier, General Sanford, I wonder. Anyway. The Air Force needed to address the surge in UFO reports. The public face of investigations was Project Blue Book, headquartered at Wright Field in Ohio. Captain Edward J. Ruppelt was the first director from 1952 through 53. Documents released decades later confirmed Blue Book lacked access to many classified incidents. By the summer of 1952, the so-called UFO flap reached its crescendo. At the end of July, a cluster of discs over the White House was reported by newspapers across the country. Coverage headlined, "Saucers Swarm Over Capitol," describing pilots observing discs and air traffic controllers tracking impossible speeds of strange objects on radar over Washington, D.C. Despite multiple trained observers and radar confirmation, the Air Force attributed the incidents to weather anomalies and misidentification. Secret files from that era show Air Force intelligence, the CIA, and government officials at the highest level were deeply concerned and had considerably more information than they released about increasing incidents. Well, of course they did. And questions remained about Roswell. Why would Blanchard, an officer who would rise to become Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force, allow his professional assessment to be contradicted and buried? What did he really know about the incident? Probably quite a lot. Evidence and testimony since the 1947 Roswell crash indicate knowledge was shared only within a very small circle. Kevin D. Randall, retired Air Force officer and UFO researcher, interviewed Brigadier General Arthur E. Exon in 1990, who had been a lieutenant colonel in 1947 at Wright Field, which later became Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where the debris had been taken. Exxon had surveyed the Roswell crash site and confirmed a 500-foot gash. He described aspects of the debris and claimed knowledge of recovered alien bodies. See, I thought that was a different place. There were 2 crash sites. But anyway. Robert Hastings, author of UFOs and Nukes, has compiled one of the most comprehensive analyses of the Air Force's ongoing knowledge of UFOs. One of his most important sources, further illuminating Roswell, was Chet Little, cool name, a senior engineer for the Manhattan Project who developed key components for the atomic bomb. In an interview with Hastings in 1998, Little described numerous sightings of UFOs over nuclear facilities. Unexpectedly, he also recounted a conversation with his good friend William Blanchard, who, as commander of the Roswell base in 1947, had more access to direct evidence of the crash than anyone. 6 years after the incident, in 1953, Little and Blanchard were flying together from Alaska to Illinois. Both held positions in nuclear weapons oversight with the highest security clearances. Blanchard as a Strategic Air Command commander, and Little supervising the transfer of thermonuclear weapons from the Atomic Energy Commission. Over the long flight, the discussion turned to a recent UFO sighting outside Anchorage. Blanchard then stunned Little, turning the conversation to what he knew about the Roswell crash, telling him an alien spacecraft had been recovered with 4 extraterrestrial bodies. This critical account about the Roswell commander's experience had been glossed over, perhaps because of its implications. When Hastings attempted to interview Little again in 2001, he admitted that he had been coerced into silence and refused to say anything else. Blanchard died of a heart attack at the Pentagon in 1966 while serving as a 4-star general and Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force. Whatever other details he knew about the Roswell incident and the UFO and other UFO activity, he took to his grave. However, Blanchard's revelation gives focus to the UAP challenge today. Acknowledging spacecraft means acknowledging operators. Operators have intent. Understanding that intent becomes essential. The government has limited that understanding over decades. Next week, our UAP's Nuclear Essentials Part 3, Veil of Deception. So there we go. Look up Part 1. And maybe we'll do Part 3 another time. So that was interesting. There's Jesse Marcel. Met his son. Right, we're getting there. We're nearly done. What's next up? Right, here we go. Is this... No, it is an article. I thought it was just a video then for a second, but it is an article. Right, off we go. Share this tab instead. Here we go. The Sun, another erstwhile British tabloid. Who's doing Georgie English, senior foreign news reporter. Open the X-Files. I quit UK, please, to become UFO hunter. Trump must blow lid off alien secrets with out-of-this-world revelations. I think it's Gary Heseltine we're on about. Yes, it is. Who I have met. He's all right. I can't, there's something about him. Let's just put it that way. I'm not likely to meet him again, so I'll just say... Anyway, a former copper for British Transport Police. But anyway, here we go. Former UK cop who now cracks UFO cases hopes Donald Trump will blow the lid off top alien secrets. Gary Heseltine, 65, who took early retirement in 2013 to become a full-time UFO detective, is hoping the real X-Files will reveal out-of-this-world revelations, but is remaining slightly cautious. And there he is. It's from my part of the world. He's a Yorkshireman. He's Gary Heseltine. Right. It comes after Trump said he will direct US agencies, including the Defense Department, to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files on aliens and extraterrestrial life. The US President made the blah, blah, blah. We did all this earlier on, didn't we? What's Gary saying? Gary, of Featherstone, West Yorkshire, spent 24 years in the British Transport Police, mainly as a detective constable, before moving into the alien business. And it is a business. He's now the world's leading investigator of the Rendlesham Forest incident, is he? In December 1980, when US Air Force personnel witnessed UFOs over a series of nights near the twin bases of RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge in Suffolk. Gary says he was taken by surprise when Trump declared he was ordering his Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to begin releasing UFO releasing. Where they get UFO? Releasing government files on extraterrestrial life. Wingrave says, "Can you go get next door and get him on your show for an interview?" It's actually not that far, Featherstone, from me. It's about, I don't know, 15 miles, something like that. It's not that far. He told The Sun, the statement, the statement he made is significant. He don't talk like that. The statement he made is significant in the sense that it came from a sitting president of the United States who was authorising the release of government UFO UAP files. However, it made no mention of declassifying files, i.e. releasing everything the US government holds on the topic. The former cop hopes that Trump's remarks can spark a genuine push for the files to be released in a similar manner to the Epstein files. Members of Congress should feel empowered to pursue the release of secret government files, Gary added. Oh, here she is. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who is well tasty, has already said she intends to sit down with the FBI soon and urge them to release videos she has been shown when being briefed on the subject. And there's a little sidebar of Trump talking about that. In 2022, Congress held their first hearings on UFOs in 50 years. The Pentagon... Sorry, my ears have just blocked up. Oh, crikey. Maybe there's a UFO hovering outside, changing the air pressure. The Pentagon promised to offer up more transparency as they set up an office to collect reports of all military UFO encounters. Just 2 years later, a Pentagon report declared there is no evidence suggesting the US government has ever encountered alien life. Of course it has. Almost all UFO sightings reported can be explained, almost all. Just takes one, as being various ordinary objects, the report claimed. President Trump's sudden intervention implies that agencies should disclose what they know, so I think it will be very interesting to see if they will comply, Gary said. He continued, one of the other things that might happen soon is President Trump signing an executive order in the Oval Office. I think he's a bit busy at the minute. If that happened, it would be unprecedented in terms of presidential action on the UFO UAP topic. Although highly unlikely, it could also reveal the truth about of what he knows about non-human intelligence, NHI. NHI relates to a range of things involving any form of intelligence, consciousness, or advanced cognitive function that isn't originated from a human. It can include artificial intelligence, biological life, such as animals, and scientific wonders, such as unexplained environmental changes. Sorry, I read that and I was just thinking about what Emperor Ming says in Flash Gordon. Every 1,000 years, I test each life form in the universe. I challenge them with, what is it now? Disasters, unexpected eclipses, strange craters in the wilderness, stuff like that. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. While Gary remains unsure on if the US would ever reveal the secrets of alien life to the world, he does say Trump's actions have certainly made things interesting. Gary's thoughts are echoed by UFO experts across the globe. Nick Pope, who led the UK's Ministry of Defence UFO desk for 3 years, told The Sun, there either is or isn't a smoking gun in the files somewhere that will prove extraterrestrial visitation. He predicts if they are ever released, then it will undoubtedly be the biggest story of all time. But, the boat. The boat. Get well soon, Nick. Except you won't because it's incurable, but anyway. Trump's decision to announce the shock potential release of files, blah, 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 we know all that bit. Yeah, that's, we know all of this. Is that it? Hang on, what's this here? Secret site. A US congressman has claimed that a classified facility housing a UFO is hiding in plain sight. I saw this earlier on, actually, in one of Ross Coulthard's things. And he was saying he knows where it is. Is this it? Because supposedly in one of these documents somewhere, that's I can't remember who it was, David Grush who said it. Somebody said it that they'd found a UFO at a like an archaeological site, and it was so big they couldn't move it, so they just built a building around it. Is it that? I don't know. So where's this at? Oh, this South Korea. Anyway, it comes. We're talking about Trump saying all this stuff. Trump raged at Obama. Didn't rage at all. Anyway, good old the Sun. It comes as US Congressman Representative Eric Burleson says Trump has been fully briefed on the existence of aliens. Burleson also claimed earlier this year that there is a secret overseas facility hiding a massive UFO, which is guarded like it's some kind of commodity. The lawmaker claims an entire building had to be built around the immovable flying saucer, which theorists believe to be on the outskirts of Seoul, South Korea. Is it in there somewhere? Oh, no. This is Area 51. Oh, is that it? All right, very good. Yeah. So there we go. Thank you, The Sun, for that. And Gary Heseltine. He used to have a magazine. I don't know if he still does. I forgot what it's called now. Sorry, Gary. I don't know if he's still doing his magazine. He used to do a magazine. Maybe he still does. I don't know. Is it the Ark that we used to come here? Yes, it is. Golgafrinchans. Right, what's next? Oh, yes, I found a video. That's a video that just has some clips of UFOs. It's the most shocking UFO footage ever recorded. So I just thought I'd... hang on, let's go to theatre mode. There we go. I just thought I'd share it. I'm not going to play it all, but so I would just go through some of them. And I thought it'd be interesting. So here it is. I'll go full screen, shall I? There we go. Obviously, that's the Phoenix Lights, isn't it? Everybody knows that. What's the next one? I don't know. I'll go through it like this. Oh, what happened then? Columbia 2025. So that's an orb, isn't it? Oh, hang on. It's going a bit too fast, isn't it? I don't know how fast it's going to go through these. So that's some sort of silvery orb, which were popular in Central and South America, weren't they? Back in the 90s, early aughts. But anyway, what's this one? That's the jellyfish, isn't it? That's the jellyfish. Oh, is it over Iraq or somewhere like that? What else have we got? That's a bit sus, isn't it? That's a bit sus. But you never know. What's that one? Is this a video? It is. So that's it. Don't know. That's it. Could be anything. A lot of these like cigar-shaped objects that are just like that. That could just be a solar balloon, which is essentially a big black bin liner, big long that just fill it with air, and then the sun heats it up, and you float it off. I've no idea why, but apparently a lot of those were mistaken for UFOs in time. Is that somebody caught on somebody's Ring doorbell camera? Why can't I see anything like that on my bloody Ring doorbell? All I see on my, cameras outside, cats. That's all I see. Bloody cats walking backwards and forwards, and the occasional fox, and the milkman and the postman. That's all I see. Anyway, I don't think that's something, is it? Bright blue UFO over Seti Ranch. Let's have a look then. I'll have it. Don't know. Could be anything, but interesting. Stop showing the bloody things on screen. We don't care about them. Is this the bright blue UFO? Don't know. I'm not playing the audio because I don't know. Is there any audio? There will be, won't there?
Eyewitness spotted a huge bright blue light high up in the sky and started recording the video.
I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know. Because sometimes it keeps taking the audio off for some weird reason. Is that bright blue UFO? But, don't know what it is. What we're looking at here. Clouds. What we got next? Another orb. Interesting. Could be a balloon. Could be a balloon. Who knows? What we got here? I don't think that's it, is it? No, because we've got sort of stock footage. Hang on. Bright orbs. I presume we're looking at that triangle there. Yeah. Oh no, there's 4 of them. It could still be a triangle, but with one in the middle. It's the greys. They use the triangle stuff. Is that another one over in the distance? Yeah, no. But I don't know. There could be drones. Because I'm being, logical about this. There could even be, I don't know, Chinese balloons. Them paper balloons that you put a little tea light in and off they go. It could be them for all we know. I don't know. It could be flares, or it could be UFOs. Who knows? I mean, technically they are UFOs because they're unidentified. Anyway, keep going. An alien. South America. Cherries to the gods, man. What, is there something happening here? No, just clouds moving quickly. What else we got? Oh, that's interesting. I think Princess wants to come in. I think the cat's knocking on the door. I'll just go let the cat in. Bear with me. Oh dear. She does. She jumps up. She jumps up at the back door, and she opens it. If I didn't have the security thing on, she'd be in, wouldn't you? Cheeky monkey. You. Get you. Why don't you jump up back in my chair like you used to? Are you sure it's a cat? Well, she does control me. I am her slave. Anyway, back to these shocking UFOs. This is cool, isn't it? Over a desert. Is it Area 51? Don't know. What else we got? What was that one? I saw something. Was it this same one? Don't know. That's it. It could just be a balloon for all we know, because it's not doing anything amazing, is it? Just because it's silver and looks like a flying saucer, don't mean it is one, does it? Could be a mylar balloon, a silver mylar balloon that's just going down. Because they're just going in a straight line. It's not blowing us away, is it, with its amazing aerial dynamics? And you can get some weird-shaped balloons, can't you? You genuinely can. Was this an alien? I've seen this one before, this video. Of an alien spying on somebody. What else we got on this video? Aliens. Being abducted. Oh no. Under the sea aliens and Russian aliens. Lake Baikal. I wrote a short story about Lake Baikal. Where Lara Croft finds a UFO under Lake Baikal. Anyway. Come on, show some more footage. Proper footage. A lot of people doing stuff. Oh, hang on. Is this a mermaid or something? Or the Aquaman? Yeah. I don't think so. Let's keep going. See if anything else pops up. No, we're all about aliens and stuff now, aren't we? What's this here? Is it moving or is it just a photo? That's supposed to be an alien, is it? Who plays Lara in it? She plays herself. Proper Lara Croft. So, that an alien walking across the lake. Looked like a lake, didn't it? Yeah. So is there a video of this? Or is it just is it a still from a video, or is it just a photograph? I think it's just a photograph, isn't it? So it's not. Should it be moving? It'd be like the Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot footage, wouldn't it? I like that photo, I must admit. Probably not real, but you never know. Anyway, so there we go. Looks like that's the end of that. So there we go. That link for that video is in the description. It's only 6 minutes, but I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. I thought there was another clip in it. I might have missed it because some of them are pretty quick. Which is, I think, has been a clip that has been proved to be fake, unless it were another video that I looked up. It might have been. It might have been. I don't know. Anyway, never mind. Right, so there we go. So that was my last thing. I just thought we'd share that. Right, there we go. Anyway, so stop sharing. Remove. Right, we're all done and dusted. So if you want to read those articles or look at that video, links in the description. It is. Link is in the description. Right, so we're all done and dusted. We'll leave it there for another, whenever I do another one. I don't know. Maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks, maybe a month. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What's coming up next, you ask? I don't know. What day are we on? We're on Monday, aren't we? Sunday, I mean. Tomorrow is Monday, which means Magnificent Mondays, and we're doing 300. Fingers crossed if I get around to bloody watching it. I'm going to have to start watching that, actually. Right after I stop this. And then watch it again tomorrow. Are you still watching Voyager? I'm trying to get round to it. I watched the odd episode. I'm not, doing a sit down watching, big chunks of it. I'm just catching the odd episode. But we will get round to Voyager. I think I'm on season 4 now, so we'll get round to Voyager season 4. Anyway, on Friday, for Friday Night Point with Fear, we're doing Friday the 13th. For That Is the Day, part 5. We're up to part 5, so that's Friday. And on Wednesday, for Watch Party Wednesday, we're watching Galaxy Quest. Yay! So there we go. Which is a great film. Right. Let's get rid of that. Go away. Right. So we will leave it there. So, thanks, Winnie Grace, and thanks, Justin. Thanks for the $3 super chat. I don't think anybody else popped in, did they? No, they didn't. I don't think so. Let's have a look on Rumble. Make sure there's no chats on Rumble. No, there never is. You never know. Somebody might surprise me one day. Justice says part 5 is a guilty pleasure. It's quite good, is Friday the 13th part 5. It's the controversial one, isn't it? Perfect timing after the new Academy. What is? I don't know. You mean Galaxy Quest? Thank you, sir. There was 5 watching. Well, the 5 watching at one point. Crikey. Probably all CIA, including you too. Anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, hang on, let me get sorted. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Watch the skies, and until next time, I'll say the...